For 67 years, the family of Emmett Till say they have been seeking justice, not just for the 1955 murder of the 14-year-old black boy whose tortured and disfigured body helped spark the civil rights movement, but for what led up to that murder, his kidnapping. The family believes one suspect is a woman who is still alive.
She is wanted.
That's right.
She killed one of our young kings at 14. He just turned 14.
That's
Remember
right.
that. That could have been anybody's child.
That's right.
No mother should ever have to bury their child, and nobody should have to deal with that.
This is definitely a blast from the past, but it's very relevant to today. And so the unpublished memoir of Emmett Till's accuser raises new questions. So Emmett Till was lynched in 1955. He's a 14-year-old little boy. He was accused of making a pass at or offending a white woman when he was in a grocery store. Now, he was from the North, from Chicago to be exact, and he went to Money, Mississippi to visit his uncle Moses. And the norms, how he had to navigate life in the North, even though the North was racist as hell too, was a lot different from the South. So he was accused of doing this, and these white men came into his uncle's home and took Emmett Till out and lynched him at the age of 14 years old. So now we have new evidence that is coming from a memoir that was not supposed to be released until 2036. Let's take a look.
But there's some details in this that actually has everyone scratching their head. In fact, the woman at the center of this actually says in the memoir that she told her husband that Emmett Till was not the young man who whistled at her on that day. I was very surprised when he showed it to me. She's talking about the warrant. The person that filed the kidnapping charges said there was a soft voice in the truck, but they didn't see who it was. I guess the sheriff thought it was me. I was never arrested, and I was or charged with anything.
And as we talk about what happened to Emmett Till, I think it is important for all of us to understand the impact of lynching on the lives of African Americans. It was nothing short of terrorism. It was domestic terrorism. And the NAACP has put out several data points about this. So from 1882 to 1968, there were almost 5,000 lynchings occurred in the U.S. And according to records maintained by the NAACP, other accounts, including the Equal Justice Initiative, extensive reporting on lynching, count slightly different numbers, but it is impossible to know for sure how many African Americans were actually lynched in this country. I want you to take note of the years, because from 1882, so while Africans and then their descendants were enslaved, the lynching was not going on. But after the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution, we get into Reconstruction and also post-Reconstruction, you see the lynchings take place. It was white supremacist terrorism, terrorizing black folks for just being black in America. And so the 1955 lynching of Emmett Till certainly was one of the sparks for the modern day civil rights movement. We had a whole lot of stuff happening in 1955. We also have the Montgomery bus boycott at the end of 1955. So this really sparked it. We all should care about lynching and the impact that it has had and that it continues to have. It is certainly a stain on this country. The family of Emmett Till wants Carolyn Dunham to face justice, even at this stage in her life. And I certainly agree with them that she should.
We're not sure why they declined to indict her, because there was enough evidence there to indict her. The investigation had been done. We did take the torch from Mamie. We ensured to her that we will continue the fight before she passed away. And so for me, I definitely want to see it through, but it has been a tremendous amount of trauma. I still feel like the weight is on our shoulders. We found the new evidence, and so we just want justice served. We are doing this without hate, malice, or vengeance against Carolyn Bryant. We just want justice served. Justice has been denied for 67 years, and it needs to be served.
The men who actually lynched Emmett Till should have too, but it was an all-white jury, and we know how that went down. Nothing happened to those men. So the only survivor that's left right now is Carolyn, and she needs to face justice. I want to give the great singer Billie Holiday the last word on this. She has a song about lynching, And I'm going to read some excerpts from it. Southern trees bear a strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. That was written by Abel Meropo and recorded in 1939 by Billie Holiday. It is a very powerful song, and I encourage you, if you have never heard her sing this song, you should definitely listen to this song. She puts out there the real pain, the real visceral pain that Black people felt and still feel to this day. This is nothing but another example of injustices in the system. We must and we can do something about it. We must atone for the sins of this country. Strange fruit.